Welcome to It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. What is it? It's everything. Everything you want in life starts with courage. I'm back again with my favorite.
Awesome.
How are we?
Good.
What you been doing?
Just same old stuff. Family, work. Bailey started school. Big freshman now.
Gosh, high school?
Yes.
All I think about is how the traffic is back.
Yes, it is back. It's terrible.
That's it. That's the worst part. That's the worst part of it all.
Did LSU didn't start yet, huh?
They did. They start back this week.
I thought they started around the 22nd or so.
Well, I think this is like the time where they sort of come in and they start moving in and settling in. But classes, I think, start next week, which is great. Like, this is now, I only get excited for LSU because it means Airbnb business.
Oh, yeah. We got a 2-week rental the other day.
We too. Me too.
Awesome.
Yes. So absolutely loving that. Please come back to school, guys. We missed you.
Yes, we did miss you this summer.
We missed you. So my family's out. They're gone. They were here for like 3 weeks. Last time they were here, I told you about that Airbnb. I'm happy to report that we had an excellent experience. We went down to Houston and we stayed in one there. And oh my goodness, when I say it was... You know when I walk into craft homes and I'm like, oh man, this just feels like home. This is just luxury. This is where I need to be.
This is like my people, my stuff.
Yes. That's how I felt in that Airbnb. I can't fault those people, and anyone who has anything to complain about, you are the drama. You are the problem.
Good. That's like redemption there.
Man, I mean, this time I really did my research.
Good.
I did my research. Not that I wasn't doing my research before, but I guess because since we have one, you
hold people to a higher standard.
Yes. And you just think like, oh, okay, if it's a 4.6, it just means, there are a couple of people who would just mean, but no, for you to get down to a 4.6, you know what? Several people have to have given you sub 5-star.
Yeah. I don't I don't really like rating systems like that. I know like in Zillow, they have like a rating system where customers like rate you. So like, okay, we'll use this example. Mm-hmm. So I met you on Zillow, right?
Yeah.
So like, let's say you call into Zillow and then they're like, okay, we're going to hook you up with Jen. So I answer the phone and you're like, hey, Jen, this is Kat. I want to see this house Friday at 5:30. Mm-hmm. And you're like, really? Friday at 5:30? So I go into the asking questions like, okay, Kat, well, are you a first-time home buyer? And you're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, have you looked into getting your financing yet? Or do you need help with that? No, I haven't looked into that. I just want to see the house. And then I'm like, okay, well, let me just see like how you, let me just ask you some questions that maybe the lender would ask, because I can give you a pretty basic idea, like if I think you'll get approved or not. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's your credit score? And you're like 500.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, well, there's no loan program you can get for a 500 credit score. So there's really no point in us on a Friday at 5:30 to fight the traffic and go and just show you this house because you just want to see it. So here's, someone that can help you with like your credit report and can help you, get your score up. And like, let's circle back a little later once you've worked on that. And so then they get upset and we hang up the phone.
Why? You didn't give them that
because I didn't show them the house. And so I hang up with them and then they get a text from Zillow saying, we connected you with Jen. How did you like Jen? Did you Are you going to work with Jen? Was Jen great? So, of course, they're probably not going to give me 5-star reviews because I didn't want to go jump up and show a house to a 500 credit score on a Friday afternoon. But that's kind of my beef with some of these like rating systems. Like one of the ladies on ours was like, for affordability or pricing or whatever, she gave us like a 4 point something star, and she was like, well, I mean, it was great. It was just a little more money than I wanted to spend. We had a last minute person cancel.
That's not your fault.
And so instead of splitting it 5 ways, we had to split it 4 ways. And I was thinking, but that's not our fault. So sometimes I feel like people don't really know how to properly review.
I mean, I agree. There's one girl who stayed with us and she came to get married. She wasn't going to stay in the place for long. And, people come and stay, they leave their things, and we don't like to throw them away, like straight away, because you never know people want to come and get things. So they were in the garage. She pulls into the garage. Mind you, the garage is huge. She had one car. She was parked smack bang in the middle. There were some ice creams in the fridge, like unopened, a box of those ice cream sandwiches. There's food in the fridge and freezer, and there's garbage in the garage. Huh? I said, those ice creams are for guests to eat. It is summer after all. And that's not garbage in there. It's, guest stuff. And I was like, but nonetheless, I'll come and check. Well, send someone to check. And she's like, are you the cleaner? I said, no. Normally I would say I'm the cleaner because I think it just makes people feel better.
Oh my gosh.
And then I was like, yeah, the ice creams are for you. She's like, yeah, well, we threw them away. And I said, okay, well, maybe you may want to throw them in the garbage outside. Otherwise, it's going to melt all over in the house and you're going to have a smell. And then she was like, oh, okay. And then there was nothing else wrong. On the reviews, I think she gave us a 4-star for something. And she was like, host resolved our problems quickly. What problem did you have? Get out. I will not be hosting you. I said no. Would you host her again? Absolutely not.
Oh my gosh. Well, on to our topic for today, which is due diligence.
She didn't do a due diligence by the pricing.
Well, I know, but this kind of ties into the Airbnb thing and like doing the due diligence, I don't know, not to really get political, but this week in the news, it's just like all the Mar-a-Lago raid on former President Trump. And, you listen to all the different news stations and they've all got a different spin on what's going on.
Yeah.
But like what really has stood out,
you should be like me and not watch the news. I saw the highlights.
I should.
I'm done with the news. I'm done.
I really should just, this is a whole nother topic, but I've realized lately how much what you put into your mind reflects in your day and your thinking. And we went to church a couple weeks ago and I was just listening and I was just thinking like, I would probably be in a much better place not listening to this recession and interest rates and this and inflation and all of this.
Yeah.
And just read read my Bible.
Yeah.
Because the only thing or person that can that is bigger than all of this is God. And he has it under control.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking, instead of getting up and watching the news, I probably just should get up and read my Bible, but I still hadn't done that this week. But
okay, so due diligence. You've been watching the news.
Okay, so watching the news on this Mar-a-Lago raid or whatever. And I'm just thinking, I'm watching all these news channels and none of them know what's going on, but they all are spinning this stuff one way or another. And I'm listening to what they're saying, and there's something in my mind just going this is just not right.
Yeah.
Like I don't have the whole story here. And so I told my husband, I was just like, this is, we're not getting all the facts. You cannot make a decision on this, on part of the story. It just, they can tell us, people can just tell us whatever they want to tell us to skew our view on things. But like, we're not, like, what I'm walking away with is like, I don't have all the facts to make a decision.
How many people think like that though? As in, like, even outside of the news, when you sometimes you're in those group chats or just some conversations and someone spills out something that sounds wow, or, oh, hey, did you know that so-and-so and so-and-so, this is happening? And from there, think about how many people take that information and then they go and give it to someone else and give it to someone else and give it to someone else.
Yeah.
Only to realize, oh, misinformation, or that wasn't all of it, or it's kind of like, the episode we did where we spoke about entrepreneurship and what it takes to be successful, where it's when someone gives you a blueprint and they just say, oh, all I did was this. And you believe that all they did was this. So you go out and do ABC and ABC doesn't work because you didn't actually, one, maybe you haven't followed that person's journey properly or looked into, oh, okay, what have they actually done? What other background credentials do they have that would have made them successful in said area? But instead, we just jump on and take people at face value for everything that they're saying.
Yes, like we take people on at face value. There's so much information in the world. And I feel like we as Americans sometimes have just forgotten how to critically think.
Well, I mean, I'm an immigrant, so that's y'all.
You're trying to be American.
I'm just saying. But I mean, I agree with you there. I think it's always interesting when I interact sometimes with the younger generation. And this is something I was speaking to somebody about, where in this generation, even children with entertainment, it's you entertain me. I'm not making the effort to play. I'm not making the effort to be inquisitive. I'm not making the effort. Like, kids don't have to make the effort to find out, how does this work? Why does this do what it does? Because all it is press a button and it's going to entertain you. And I think when you lose that ability to think why and how, like, why is this happening? Or why is this the fact that you're telling me? What else is influencing all of this? It's kind of like playing the stock market, but not understanding how the stock market works or the background of the company you're buying.
Yeah, probably a lot of people buy stocks and don't even research what they are.
Or what company is, what's going on they could be in litigation or,
Yeah.
I mean, due diligence is definitely a must, I would say.
Yeah. So, I mean, I would just think that, like, just think about how you are as a person and how you process information and where the information is coming from. A lot of people these days don't watch the news. They get all of their information from social media, which is skewed to send them what they like. So if you're a Democrat, then all the stuff in your news feed is going to be pro-Democrat. If you're a Republican, everything in your news feed is going to be pro-Republican. So it's really not a great place to consume your news because it's skewed to
consume your facts. Like, I think
I do some research.
Yeah. I see that so much with influencers. I had a friend of mine who sometimes trains me, and he was making a post on social media about how he was saying, women, stop choosing your trainer based on how they look. And his rant was basically to say that, like, especially in this day and age, there are a lot of women who've had surgery. And when they've had surgery to modify their bodies and then they come back and sell you a plan that one they didn't follow.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to give you the same results. Or they, they're getting their information from somebody else. They don't actually know how it's going to affect you. But because in this day and age, people, we want so much to be given information. We don't want to do the work. We just want to be given a blueprint. We just want to be given the answers to say, here you go. This is all you need to know.
Right. But I was looking at some of my friends are doing that that diet. I don't know what it's called. It's
what do they do?
They eat like 800 calories a day.
So they're in a caloric deficit.
Yeah, but so they're like, oh my God, like all these people have lost weight on this. Like,
isn't this one that's like a Lori Harvey workout with something to do with Pilates? And it's
Pilates?
Is
that
she was doing Pilates.
Is that like a coffee workout?
No.
Pilates?
Pilates is like, it's the flowy yogurt-y kind of low impact workout where it's like a lot of stretch.
Yogurt, I heard is yogurt.
Yogurt-y.
What is yogurt-y?
No, it's like, I'm saying the movements are kind of yoga type movements.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't speak Canadian like that.
And she basically arrived, I think it was like at the Met Gala or something like that. And she had this incredibly flat stomach, these great abs. And she basically put out, hey, I only eat 1,200 calories or something like that. And I do Pilates. And everyone's been obsessed with eating 1,200 calories, not knowing how 1,200 calories really affect you. So
yeah, so I'm trying to look up as we speak right now. I'm like, because I know some people that are on this plan. Shoot, I forgot the name of it.
I'm trying to figure what 800 calories. That's not even enough to sustain your brain activity.
Well, exactly, and that's the point, right? Like, so when you get I feel like we're not doing our due diligence, especially when we're in a desperate mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you desperately want to lose weight.
Yeah.
And you see this group of people that have just lost a ton of weight doing this one program.
Yeah.
So you're like, hey, bud, how are you losing all this weight? Yeah. What are you doing? Oh, I'm doing this great program. You got to sign up, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, you just follow these meal plans and you eat this and you eat that. You eat 6 times a day. And so you're like, okay, and you spend $1,000 to sign up or whatever, and you get into the meat of it, and you're like, wait a minute.
No,
I could totally see why you're losing a shit ton of weight, because you're eating 800 calories a day, and your 6 meals a day consist of like 4 meals that are 2 bites of something.
Yeah.
They're not meals. And
they're snacks.
It's like, okay, well, there's all this research on like how well it worked.
Yeah.
But that's what is the regain weight afterwards, and what's the negativity it's going to do on your metabolism and your body by going on this crash thing. So it's like,
all good points.
That's what I'm saying. Like, instead of like just jumping into something, I just feel like we've lost the ability to say, like, do your due diligence, look it up, get on YouTube, get some videos, like listen to some nutritionists, listen to some doctors.
Yeah.
How is this going to affect you? Is this a plan that you should be following? And
in the long run, is it even sustainable? Whatever it is,
Right. So,
I mean, I like that. I definitely encourage people to do their due diligence. I know I definitely do, especially if it comes to spending money. That's only because I'm trying to figure out how can I do it myself.
I know you were like Miss Due Diligence when it comes to spending money. You're so tight.
Oh man, I love it.
But you're getting better.
I am. I've been doing well.
I've been kind of loosening you up a little bit.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
All right. Well, that's it for today. We're gonna just encourage you guys to kind of keep your mindset out there. Like, think about where you're consuming your information. Do you have all the facts? And like, if something just doesn't feel right, or you're like, this just doesn't add up to me, then you need to trust that gut feeling that like you're missing some of the facts. And I know we talked about diet, we talked about the news and politics, but this goes into relationships.
Yeah.
If somebody is telling you something and it just doesn't add up, like, they said they were here, but
they were really...
their phone said they were there. They didn't answer their phone or whatever. Like, I mean, you're going to get that gut feel. You're going to get that thing like, it's not adding up to the real deal. Don't be afraid to question that.
I agree. I'm all for that. Questions. Tell me what you think about me. No, don't. Okay.
And I want to end up just wishing you good luck in your competition this weekend. I cannot wait to see you up on that stage and see all your hard work and cheer really loud for you.
Guys, she's driving 4 hours just to support me. Isn't that a friend?
Yes, absolutely. Peace. Thanks for listening to this episode of It Starts With Courage podcast with Kat and Jen. If you like this episode of the podcast, visit our website, iswcpodcast.com, for show notes and other cool things.